What is the difference between a Special Forces soldier and a regular soldier? The difference? You want to know the difference? Sit down, son, and listen close, because the answer isn't in some manual. It isn't in the gear we carry or the patches on our shoulders. It's written in scars, in silence, and in the ghosts that walk with us long after the battlefield goes quiet. I've lived both worlds, fought beside regular soldiers, and walked the long, lonely path of special operations. And I'll tell you this, the difference isn't just skill, it isn't just training, it isn't even just mindset. It's how deep you're willing to dig when the world turns black, when every comfort has been stripped from you, when the only thing left is willpower and the brother next to you. I remember one night in the mountains of Afghanistan, cold so sharp it cut straight through bone. Regular infantry had been hammering the valley for days, pushing back fighters with mortars, Humvees, and sheer manpower. They did their job, they held the line, and by God, without them none of us could have taken a single step into enemy territory. But then came the task they couldn't do. Surgical, precise, invisible. That was where we came in. 6 men, not 60. No heavy guns, no vehicles. Just silence, shadows, and 70 pounds of steel and sweat on our backs. We hiked for days, half frozen, half starved, moving like ghosts across ridgelines while the world slept. That's the first difference. Regular soldiers are the hammer. They strike, they hold, they keep the enemy at bay. Special Forces? We're the scalpel. We cut exactly where it hurts, and no one sees the blade until the blood starts flowing. That night, we watched our target move through the valley with 20 armed men. The infantry would have opened up from the ridgeline, thunder and fire lighting the sky, bullets cutting through snow until no one was left standing. Effective, yes. Loud, messy, and sometimes costly. Us? We waited, hours in the cold, our breath freezing against our masks, eyes locked on the convoy. When the moment came, we didn't charge. We dismantled them like predators tearing at a herd. Suppressed rifles whispered death into the storm. Knives found throats in the dark. By the time they realized they were under attack, half their men were already gone. The rest broke, panicked, firing at shadows, terrified of ghosts they couldn't see. That's what we are. Ghosts. Fear itself turned into flesh. But don't mistake me, I don't say this to belittle the regular soldier. Without them, we are nothing. They are the shield that holds the line. They are the wall that doesn't break. They are the reason we can slip through the cracks and do what we do. I've fought shoulder to shoulder with infantry in cities where every alley was a death trap, where every window hit a rifle. I've watched them bleed, watched them stand, watched them refuse to break even when the world was falling apart. They carry the weight of the fight every day, and no one sings their praises loud enough. The difference is not that one is greater than the other. It's that the missions are different, the demands are different, the darkness we're asked to walk through is different. Let me take you back to training, because that's where the difference is carved into the soul. Regular soldiers go through hell. Don't think for a second they don't. Boot camp strips you down, crushes you, and builds you back into something harder, sharper, disciplined. But special operations selection? That isn't about building you. It's about breaking you, shattering you into 1,000 pieces, then seeing if you can crawl through the mud and put yourself back together again. I've seen men tougher than iron reduced to sobbing shells. I've seen athletes, fighters, men who thought they were invincible, quit in the dead of night because the cold, the hunger, the exhaustion dug deeper than their pride. We were pushed past breaking, days without sleep, miles with packs heavy enough to cripple, tasks designed not to test our bodies but our minds. Could you keep moving when your knees were gone? When your back screamed with every step? When your stomach gnawed itself from hunger? Could you think clearly when your brain was drowning in fatigue? When the world spun and your vision blurred? Could you trust the man next to you, even when he was as broken as you were? That's the crucible. That's the difference. The infantry is trained to fight, to obey, to endure. Special forces are trained to suffer, to adapt, to operate alone in the void where no one is coming to save you. I remember another mission. The jungle this time. Heat thick as soup, air buzzing with insects that didn't care if you were soldier or rebel. Regular troops were pounding a village nearby, flushing out fighters, taking ground step by bloody step. Our job was different. No guns blazing, no banners waving. We slipped in quiet, crawling through mud and brush for hours, faces painted, rifles wrapped in burlap. We watched, we waited, we listened. We weren't there to fight. We were there to find intelligence, movement, whispers in the night that would change the course of battles days later. When the time came, we struck once, fast, precise, and then vanished before the jungle even knew we'd been there. That's the difference in battle. Infantry is presence. They announce themselves with fire and fury. Special forces is absence. We're there, and then we're gone, leaving only silence and confusion behind. But I'll tell you something else. Something people don't talk about. The cost. The infantry pays with blood, numbers, lives on the field. Special forces pay in shadows, in the things we carry home, in the things no one sees. Missions so secret no medals are awarded. Victories so quiet no one even knows we were there. We live with ghosts, son. The faces of men we couldn't save. The screams we can't forget. The weight of knowing the world will. And never know what was given to keep it safe. The brotherhood, though, that's where the lines blur. Whether you're infantry or special operations, the bond is forged the same way. In fire, in fear, in the knowledge that your life depends on the man beside you. I've seen regular soldiers throw themselves into gunfire to drag a wounded buddy to safety. I've seen special operators walk into the jaws of hell for the same reason. At the end of the day, the patch doesn't matter. What matters is the brotherhood, the love, the unspoken promise that no one gets left behind. So you want to know the difference between a Special Forces soldier and a regular soldier? The regular soldier is the backbone of war, the shield that holds, the hammer that strikes. He fights with strength, with discipline, with courage that never wavers. The Special Forces soldier, he's the scalpel, the ghost, the shadow. He fights with silence, with patience, with precision that leaves the enemy bleeding before they even realize they've been cut. Both are warriors, both are essential, but one fights in the light and the other in the dark. And don't ever forget this, both bleed the same, both fear the same, both stand in the same dirt, under the same sky, staring death in the eye. The only difference is how much darkness you're willing to walk through, and how much of yourself you're willing to leave behind in that darkness. That's the truth, that's the difference.